May they rest in peace. Next, we will move to the agenda. So,
Mayor, before we move on, could we give our first responders a round of applause for all the work that they've done?
I apologize for the audio, but I will have them put that on the website. So if you would like to watch that. Consent agenda.
Move for approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
No, we're just talking about it. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Under other council actions, we will consider award for contract for Fab Tech Wastewater Solutions. Mr. Kerr.
Mayor and Council, we have for your consideration a award of a bid to Fab Tech Wastewater Services LLC. This is a project to rehabilitate a final clarifier at our wastewater plant. This is the third of a four-year process. The previous 2 years we've done final clarifier 1 and 2. This is final clarifier 3, and the work will be to take the internal structures of the clarifier and replace them, the metal structures, completely, and then we had some concrete work in the floor of the clarifier. So the work is about $360,000. We did submit the request for bids to 7 companies. We received a single bid. The company is the same one that's done the first 2 clarifiers and has done a good job for us. I have a couple of pictures of the clarifier if you want to see them, but it's not necessary.
Okay. Are there any questions from council? Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kerr. Next, we'll move to public hearing. We are going to look at item 2 a little bit further down the agenda. So we will open a public hearing on the proposed tax rate to consider levying the tax for 2019 tax year. Ms. Muncy.
Mayor, Council, this is to open the second public hearing on our tax rate. Property Tax Code 26.06 requires 2 public hearings. If the tax rate is proposed that exceeds the effective tax rate, and it does, the proposed tax rate is 47.6601 cents, and it is exceeding the effective tax rate, but it's lower than the rollback rate. It will increase property tax revenues by 22.7% over the preceding year. The first public hearing was held on August 27, 2019 at the regularly scheduled City Council meeting. A special City Council meeting has been scheduled for September the 23rd for the first reading of the ordinance to approve the tax rate. The final vote of the tax rate will occur on the September 24th regularly scheduled 6 o'clock meeting. And the meeting will be held here at City Hall. The proposed tax rate provides the continuation of the 20% general residential homestead exemption, the senior citizen exemption of $15,000, the $5,000 to $12,000 disabled veterans exemption, the $5,000 exemption for disabled persons, and other state mandated exemptions. Total exemptions for the fiscal year 2020 or the tax year 19 deal is $2.37 billion in value. The following is a comparison of the tax rate. Again, the effective rate is 0.394648 and the proposed rate is 0.476601, which is the same rate as last year. The total taxable value for the 19 tax year was $10,113,000,000. This is a 22.7% increase in taxable value from the prior year.
Okay, are there any questions from council? Okay, this is a public hearing. We do have one card, Larry Robinson at 2219 East 8th. Mr. Robinson, you'll have 3 minutes.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I came to speak tonight on the tax issue, but I'm not going to. I just wish to thank you for all your hard work and service in view of all the events and first responders, firemen, EMT, paramedic, police, Sheriff's Department, Odessa and Midland. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to comment on this agenda item? If you would, please come forward. Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close this public hearing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And a second? All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next under ordinances, we are going to leave the ethics ordinance on the table. So we will move to resolutions. Consider approval of the Odessa Housing Finance Corporation's application to participate in a workforce housing infrastructure incentive grant program. Mr. Burnett.
Mayor, members of the council, thank you for your time tonight and appreciate your hard work on everything you're doing for the city. We talked about this at a work session not too long ago for the ODC approval of the infrastructure for housing. They did approve the OHFC, Odessa Housing Finance Corporation's application for incentives to assist in a multifamily project on 87th Street. The request is for $1.5 million. There's $5 million set aside by ODC, and at the August 8th meeting of the ODC, they did approve their application. So this is just the next step in the process for you guys and gals to ask me any questions and see if I can answer those. But this looks like what we want to see happen with those funds and moving forward on multifamily for something in a reasonably priced range. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. This did go through the Compliance Committee and to the ODC, and both were unanimous votes.
Great. Are there questions?
Wes, do we have, I know we're so excited to get this going, and I know several people have said, well, you guys have money set aside and nothing's been done yet. So the other pieces of this project, are those coming together? I mean, do we have a tentative time of when this is going to break ground, when we're going to do this project, this apartment project?
This particular one is, the application indicates January of 2020 to start.
To start.
So it's going to take a while, obviously, for that amount, but that's 3 months away, so we're pretty good. And I wouldn't be surprised if it started a little sooner than that, just depending on the weather.
Okay, any other questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Burnett.
Thank you all very much.
Item 6, adopt the City of Odessa FY 2019-20 annual budget. Ms. Muncy.
Mayor and council, this item is to adopt the City of Odessa budget for 1920. This was gone over with y'all during council retreat on July 26th. We filed the budget with the city secretary's office on August 9th, and we had our required public hearing at the August 27th council meeting. Just as a recap, our total budget for citywide is $245 million for revenues and expenditures of $235 million. This does keep the same tax rate as was mentioned earlier, a conservative sales tax budget. We did increase the solid waste rate by 2.5%. It includes 17 new employees, 3% raise for all employees. It's increased our budget for the annual street maintenance to $5.6 million as recommended under our traffic master plan. And we increased our funding to outside agencies from our hotel motel tax revenues. And I will answer any questions you might have, and if not, then this is ready for a vote.
Okay, are there any questions for Ms. Muncy? Okay, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, consider ratifying the property tax revenue increase reflected in the FY 19 and 20 annual budget. Ms. Muncy.
So now that you've just adopted the budget, I need to tell you that we have to have a separate vote that is ratifying the property tax revenue increase that's reflected in the budget. Our tax rate will remain the same. The final vote on the property tax rate will occur on September 24th. The annual budget will raise more property taxes than it did in last year's budget by $8.5 million. Almost $1 million of that was generated from new property added to the tax roll for the 19 year. The requirement is under section 102.007 and it requires a separate vote from the budget and from the tax rate.
Okay, are there any questions for Ms. Muncy? Not, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item 7, consider approval of the following 3 ODC items. Budget for 2019-20, 5 annual contracts, and 3 annual general development plans. Ms. Muncy.
Yes, Council. We have the budget for the ODC, Odessa Development Corp. That was presented to y'all at the work session. Ms. Hurt is the chairman of the board for ODC. If you have any particular questions regarding the budget, she and I would be glad to answer those questions for you.
Okay, are there any questions for Ms. Hurt or Ms. Muncy?
I would just like to commend ODC for all the thought and the hard work they've done this past year and for what the ODC has actually done for our community. So thank you. And I know Betsy, this is her last term, and I know we'll do something.
Get that smile off your face, please.
To the relief of many and the regret of a few.
No, but I wouldn't want it to, would be remiss if we didn't say that your hard work and energy in trying to get this group operating in a little more professional manner and under bylaws and rules and regs is very much appreciated.
Well, thank you. It is a delight to stand before you for the first time in the 6 years that I've served on ODC. Every contract, every page reads the same. That is just a huge, huge step forward, and I'm delighted and thank the staff, Natasha, for having this to happen. The general development plan also accurately reflects all of the contracts and what all of our money is being spent for. You can track it. It makes sense. It's logical. We just need to get to work and make it happen.
Well, Betsy, thank you very much for your leadership. You've done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I have a good team. Thank you.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Next, under miscellaneous, appointment to boards, Ms. Grimaldo.
For the Planning and Zoning Commission, appoint Connie Koontz. For the Odessa Development Corporation, I've tallied the ballot, and the 3 people that received the most votes is David Boutin, Chris Cole, and Tim Edgman.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
I will abstain from Chris Cole. I can't.
Okay. Okay, we have 1 abstention. We do not have any cards for citizens' comments on non-agenda items.
Mayor, if I may, we also have the Public Art Committee for them to consider and to appoint as well for the boards and under the
Okay.
boards.
If council will review that, I will entertain a motion.
I move for approval as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item 10, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. We are now adjourned. And thank you to our students for coming.